StrayAllDay.com.
You're now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative, which is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques, all underneath the umbrella of one unified philosophy that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is how to be more efficient. Now, before we get into this, let me remind everybody, I send out a text message every single day that is guaranteed to have you focused, sharp, and on point to start your day. Yes, I guarantee that. I even gave this text message a name. I call it the Daily Motivation. And I will even go further and send you this text message every single day for free straight to your phone. All you got to do to receive it is text me at my number, which is 305-384-6894. And every morning when the Daily Motivation goes out, because you're a member of my texting community, when you text me, you'll become a member of that community. You'll be getting that message every single day free of charge. The number's down below in the description, by the way, if you didn't catch it when I said it. I'll say it again, 305-384-6894. Secondly, Work on Your Game University. That is where all my best trainings, all my best frameworks, all my best courses, and the only way you can be coached by me takes place. That is all inside of Work on Your Game University. If you like what you get here on this show, and this is the stuff that I'm giving you for free, all right, imagine what it's like when you go to the next level. Work on Your Game University is the next level. I want y'all to understand something. Like, the stuff that I put out on this show for free is better than the stuff that you could buy from most other thought leaders that are out there in the game. All right, somebody tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, somebody let me know. I don't mind you letting me know if I'm wrong. You can text me and tell me. But I know I'm not wrong, so nobody should be telling me shit. So go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. All right, that is where you can get coached by me directly. That's the only place that I offer any coaching. You get access to all of our best trainings, like 30 Days to Discipline, ASAP Confidence, Bulletproof Mindset, Sell Yourself, Unapologetic, the Next Mission Framework, the Work on Your Game system. Work on Your Game is a whole system. It is not just a slogan. It's a good slogan, but it's more than just a slogan. Work on Your Game system, Bulletproof Mindset 2.0, and a bevy of other things. We got 40 plus courses inside the university, a bunch of frameworks, a bunch of high level trainings on specific things when it comes to business. Anything you ever heard me talk about on this show, there's a training in Work on Your Game University that goes deeper into the how to of it inside the university. All you have to do to get access to it is become a member of the university or go on to workonyourgameuniversity.com. I made that page as simple as I could possibly make a page. It tells you exactly what your options are if you're getting started. Not to mention the 2 physical mailings I send out every month called the Bulletproof Bulletin and the Black Book. If you're watching this on video, you see the Bulletproof Bulletin right there behind me. You see the Black Book on the other side of me. I send those out physically to your physical mailbox every single month, one of each, to every member of the university. Now, with all that said, let's get into today's topic, which is how to be more efficient. Now, the definition of efficiency is maximum productivity with minimum wasted effort. We just talked about that in the third point of yesterday's masterclass. So today I want to go deeper into this concept of efficiency, because this is the main thing that I noticed that most entrepreneurs need is they need to be more efficient in their work, not necessarily more productive in doing stuff, because sometimes people get very good at being productive, but you're producing a lot of nonsense that's not actually moving you anywhere. So we need to go to a higher level of your productivity, which is the level above effectiveness, which is efficiency. Let's get into it. Point number 1. Topic, once again, is how to be more efficient. Number 1, you need structure. Number 1 thing that increases your efficiency is you must have a structure for how this efficiency shall occur. What structures need to be in place for you to be efficient? Well, let's think about it. Do you want to launch a product and make at least $100,000 in a week? In order for you to do that, what do you need? Let's talk about it. Let's say you launched a product and you made $100,000 in a week. What would need to be in place for that to happen? What would need to be true for that to happen? For any of you, 100K in a week, launching a product. First of all, you need either a whole lot of prospects to see your offer, because not everybody's going to buy it. So you need a whole lot of people to come through to see it, so that the people who do buy it is enough to make you $100,000, depending on the price of your product. Or you need a very high price point, which means you may not need that many people, but if your price point is high enough, then you'll be good. For example, I was looking at somebody's mastermind the other day. I forget this guy's name, but I know where to find this guy. But he has a mastermind where he and several of his cohorts, they host a mastermind. So it's like 5 or 6 guys. They host a mastermind. They have access to all these other people. You're part of this mastermind. You get all these things. You're a member for a year, and they have these events that you go to and physical places where you go meet and all this stuff. And this mastermind is $100,000 a year. Now, in order for him to make 100K in a week, he only has to get one person to join the mastermind. Now, he doesn't need, how many prospects does he need to get one person to join? Not that many, depending on his close rate, depending on what it happens to be. So sometimes, but if you're selling, for example, if I back up here, if you're selling with something that's a little bit cheaper that people buy a lot of, if you're selling a $20 product, then you need a whole lot of people to come through, because that's a lot of sales you got to make in order to make $100,000 off of a $20 product. Again, remembering that not everybody who sees it is going to buy. So you would not be able to achieve 100K in a week if you have a $27 product in a very small audience, because you don't have the volume to make it happen, right? So you got to make sure you have the right structures in place that make it plausible for you to achieve your desired outcome. That's what effectiveness is about. Efficiency is about. Efficiency, again, means maximum productivity with minimum wasted effort or resources. So what resources need to be in place to make it possible for me to achieve outcome X, whatever that outcome may be for you? If you want to wake up at 5 a.m. every day and exercise, it will probably help if you took yourself to bed before damn midnight every single day, so that you wake up with some actual energy. You're not trying to go off for 4 hours of sleep and work out every single morning, because that's probably not going to be sustainable. All right, that's a structure. Make sure I'm going to go to bed at 9 o'clock so I can wake up at 5 a.m. and I can get my workout in. That's a structure. But if you're going to bed at 11:30, 12:45, then you're trying to wake up at 5 a.m. and then you're not doing it, or you're waking up, but you're very sluggish and you're not going to the gym, you're not working out, and then you're like, hey, Dre, I ain't worked out in 3 weeks. Why? Because the structure is not right. There's nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with the structure. Everybody understand? So look at your goals and ask yourself if your current structure even makes it plausible for you to achieve your desired outcome. Does your current structure even make it possible for your goals to happen? And now I talk to entrepreneurs every single day, so let me help you all out. A bunch of you are not even going to go look. A bunch of you don't want to look because you know what it's going to say. Let me help you all out. All right, the answer is no. For most entrepreneurs that I talk to, the answer is not even no. The answer is hell no. You do not have anything close to the structure in place that would even make it possible for you to achieve your desired outcome. If you kept doing the same thing that you were doing, you did it at maximum effectiveness, not efficiency, but effectiveness, you still would not hit your goal, simply because the structure is not designed for you to hit your goal. So your goal can't be reached with what you currently have going on. That's the issue that many of you have right now. Many people are terrible or borderline delusional at this whole concept of self-assessment that I just laid out for you. Again, asking yourself, do I have the pieces in place? Do I have the resources in place that would even make it possible for me to hit my goal, even if I did everything, quote unquote, right? Many people are very, very bad at this. Either you're not doing it at all, or when you do it, you're saying, well, yeah, I can hit my goal given this. And the answer is no, you cannot. Given what you currently have, no, you are not going to hit your goal if you keep doing the things that you're doing right now. Even if you did them 5 times better than you're doing them right now, you're not going to hit your goal. It's not going to happen. And understand that real life always differs from the lab test. So whatever you project could happen, when you get out into the real world and start actually doing stuff, things never go the way that you thought they were going to go. So what all of us need to do always is get a second and third set of eyes on our plans to make sure that whatever we are trying to make happen can actually happen. And when we get second and third sets of eyes on our plans, specifically someone who has seen what we're trying to do, they've already been where we're trying to go, they can look at it and say, okay, well, this part needs to be fixed. This part's not going to work because of this. You might think is going to work because you think that, but here's what you really need to know is this, and that's why it's not going to happen the way you thought it was. So we need to make these adjustments. This is why you get other people around you. This is why the coaching and consulting industries exist. And this is why all high level players partake in these industries, because we understand innately that what we project is going to happen, our ideas, our theories about what's going to happen versus what actually happens are often different. And the longer we delude ourselves into thinking that what we theorize is going to happen, and then we keep seeing that it doesn't, yet we don't make any changes, then the more resources that we are using up that we can never get back, and that's time that is going away, blowing our opportunity to actually make something happen in our lives. And it's tragic because people do this every single day. I'm just aiming to make sure that you're not one of those people. Point number 2, today's topic once again is how to be more efficient. Number 2, you need the tools. You're going to be efficient, you need tools. It's easier to eat soup with a spoon than it is with a fork. Would you agree? Any of you ever bought some furniture online or mails out there? You ever had your significant other buy some furniture online, and the furniture arrives and is in this big flat box? Furniture came in a big flat box. I actually just put together a table yesterday, and it came in this big flat box. Now, I knew it was supposed to be a table, but it's in a big flat box. So tables don't fit in big flat boxes. So you know what that means, man? When that big flat box comes in the mail, we know what that means. What does it mean? It means we got to assemble the shit. We got to put something together. We got to actually pull the tools out or pull out the assembly kit that comes with the furniture, and we got to put it together. All right. And they supply you with that, that little piece of shit L-shaped tool. I don't know what they call that. Whatever that little tool is that you're supposed to use to screw in the screws. All right. That takes forever to use that thing. So let me tell you something that I did, and this relates to this point. I bought a power drill on Amazon 2 years ago for $35. It's a simple power drill. It has a battery pack that you can plug in and they'll recharge the battery. Excellent investment. It's one of the best investments that I ever, as far as home stuff, one of the best investments I made. Aside from like office stuff that I use for business, but just everyday home stuff, one of the best investments I ever made was that power drill. Why? Because it allows me to put together these furniture and these things that come in these flat boxes. That means they had to be assembled. It allows me to put these things together so much faster and so much more easily and more efficiently than if I was using that L-shaped tool and had to screw everything in by hand. Even when the instructions say don't use power tools, I always use power tools because they're much faster and they're more efficient. I don't know why these companies that send you the furniture in a flat box don't want you to be efficient. Maybe they just want you to use up all your time doing nothing like building furniture. But anyway, the right tools, folks, help with efficiency. You need the right tools to be efficient. All right, you want 1,000 people to be coming through your sales funnel every single day. You're probably going to need to run some advertisements. You're probably going to need some other people to be sending traffic to your website besides you just posting on Instagram and hoping that you go viral. All right, that's not a good strategy. It's not a good tool for making sure you get the right amount of traffic through your business. Everybody understand what I'm saying? So the right tools build efficiency. Give you another example. I found myself stuck in the Minneapolis airport. MSP, which stands for Minneapolis St. Paul. I found myself stuck in the airport one day, and I was very annoyed because there were no viable flight options to get home that night. It wasn't really my fault. Actually, it was my fault because I, for whatever reason, booked a 2-legged flight back to Miami. I was coming from the West Coast, and I booked a 2-legged flight, and the flight stopped in Minneapolis, then it went to Miami. And the first leg out to Minneapolis got delayed, so then I missed my connecting flight. So I'm stuck in the Minneapolis airport. Very nice airport, by the way. One of the cleanest, nicest looking airports that I've seen in the United States. One that actually might be the cleanest, best looking airport that I've seen in America. If anyone's been to, there's a nicer airport in the United States besides the MSP airport. Somebody let me know. Give me your recommendations. Damn sure ain't Miami airport, Fort Lauderdale or Miami. Nothing in New York, please. Let's not even get started on that. Not Philadelphia. Y'all tell me. Not Las Vegas. Tell me one that's better than MSP. Very nice airport. Anyway, I Googled that day while I'm sitting in the airport, seeing that there are no flight options to get to Miami that night. I went and Googled how long the drive would be to Miami. Like, could I just rent a car and just drive to Miami? It was a 26-hour drive. All right, that's not very efficient. I did not do that. I decided that I would instead just get myself a hotel room, which was inefficient because I had to pay for the hotel room, and I would just fly back the next morning, which I ended up doing. And here I am in Miami. The athletic shoe industry, for example, has made millions of dollars by convincing athletes that a certain pair of shoes will make you a better performer on the field or on the court. All right, this is a idea of them selling you that, hey, The tool that you're wearing right now, those shoes, those are not going to do the trick. Those won't make you jump higher or be a better basketball player or make you make a jump shot. You need this tool. You got to buy these pair of sneakers. If you buy these, this tool will make you a better basketball player. It's complete bullshit. It's a complete scam, but we all happily play into it, and it has helped sell millions of pairs of sneakers because they have sold you on this idea that this tool is the key to you being successful when that's not actually the case. But it does go along with my point here, which is you got to have the right tools. If you want to be efficient, you must have the right tools in place. And this actually goes, what I just told you about this, the athletic footwear industry, is it sells people on this concept of the right tool. And this is one of the challenges that many people have, is that you buy into the wrong idea. You think you need to change tools A, B, and C in order to be successful, when actually it's tools D, E, and F that you need. But you never notice D, E, and F because you're so paying attention to A, B, and C. And then when A, B, and C don't work, you say, well, let me just change A, B, and C again. That didn't work. Let me change A, B, and C again. And then people go through this cycle their entire lives of doing different stuff. You never change the right thing. If you fix the wrong problem, folks, which is also known as operating by an inaccurate formula, then you're going to still end up in the wrong place. So when I say tools, it doesn't mean just go get any tool that feels good to you. It means you got to get the right tool. And if you don't know what the right tool is, and often you don't know what the right tool is, you got to get with someone who does know what the right tool is. So you're making the right adjustments, not just making an adjustment and just to say that you did it. All right, that's when you fall back into the productivity trap. I just made an adjustment. All right, so what? Did you make the right adjustment? That's the question, not did you make an adjustment, period. Point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is how to be more efficient. Number 3, parameters. What is a parameter? Remember that efficiency requires time guardrails. A parameter is basically the guardrails. They are the borders around what you are doing. The parameters of the United States is that to the north, we have a border. All right, so the states that are all the way at the very top of the country, like Washington State, Montana, I believe, is North Dakota touching the border? I think it is. Michigan, Maine, I think Maine is at the top. So see how much I know about American geography. But up there, those are the parameters. Down at the southern border, we got California, we got Texas, touching the southern border of the United States. Those are the parameters. And then to the east and west, we got the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, respectively. Those are the parameters. Those are the guardrails of where the country ends and where it begins. Remember that efficiency, folks, requires time guardrails. Time is our most valuable resource. You want to get rich, not get rich slow. So the easiest way to create parameters for yourself is give yourself time limits that are supported by having the right tools and the right structures that make your goals realistic, or at least the reaching of your goals realistic, not just the goal itself, the reaching of the goal realistic. You have to have time limits with the right tools and the right structure. I know that if I'm going to go outside and run, I'm going to ice my legs, I'm going to foam roll, I'm going to get dressed and be ready to work by 8 a.m. I cannot hang in the jacuzzi for more than 20 minutes. That's part of my process. So I know I got to give myself parameters for how long I can hang out down there, even though it would feel great to hang there for more than an hour, especially when I just had a tough run. I would love to just sit there in the jacuzzi, but I can't because my parameters tell me I only got 20 minutes. So I got to put those parameters on myself. Parameters, also known as structure, are also known as giving yourself deadlines. Our parameters require, folks, discipline. Structure creates discipline, which means not negotiating with yourself and not letting yourself off the hook once you have made a commitment. Your commitment is, I'm going to do this by this time. Then you put the structure in place to do that, and you must honor the structure. You must respect your own process. Another challenge that many of you have is that you don't respect your own process. You give yourself a process, or someone gives you a process. You say, all right, I'm going to follow this process to get to my goal. Then when it comes time to follow the process, you start negotiating with yourself. You start saying, well, I'll allow myself a little bit of leeway here. I'll allow myself to slip up over here, not do what I'm supposed to do over here. And before you know it, all right, now your time's got wasted. Again, once you made a commitment, you cannot allow yourself off the hook. Human beings, we are naturally bad at this. So any of you who's had this issue of slipping up on the parameters you're giving yourself and the guardrails you were supposed to be corralled by, and you've been slipping up on this, don't feel bad about yourself. All right, don't get down on yourself because of this. It just means you're human. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. This is why we had a coaching industry. All right, the reason we have coaching is so that when we naturally slip up, we have something or someone in place to hold us accountable. All right, that's why in Work on Your Game University, our 4 areas: mindset, strategy, systems, and accountability. That accountability is there because it is natural for us to slip. All right, so don't feel bad about that. All that said, let's recap today's class. It says how to be more efficient. Defined as maximum productivity with minimum wasted effort. Number one, you need structure. What structures need to be in place for you to achieve an outcome? You want to make $100,000 in a week. You got to have a lot of customers or a high price point or a combination of both. You have neither, then why would you even set that goal? All right, so many of you have goals that are not supported by the structures around your goal. Point number two, tools. It's easier to eat soup with a spoon than it is with a fork. It's easier to put together furniture with a power drill than it is with that little cheap ass tool that comes in the boxes anytime you get that flat box of furniture that you got to put together. So do you have the right tools to achieve your desired outcome? Number three, parameters. Parameters are the guardrails, and most specifically, you need a time guardrail if you're going to be efficient. Time is your most valuable resource. You want to get things done quickly, not slowly. You want to do things fast and now, not slow and later. Many of you got to get yourself off of that default setting. I talked about that in the episode on how to get more life out of your life. Parameters require discipline, which means you must have a structure, which means not negotiating with yourself and letting yourself off the hook when you made a commitment. If you had a challenge with this is why you need the coaching world, and this is why we have coaching, and I'll tell you where to get it. First of all, text me and let me know you want to get my daily motivation. I send out for free every single morning. My number is 305-384-6894. Numbers down below in the description. Secondly, Work on Your Game University. That is where I offer the only place that I offer coaching. That is where you can get access to my best trainings like Bulletproof Mindset, 30 Days Discipline, ASAP Confidence, Sell Yourself, Work on Your Game System, and 25 Hours was my time control course, and more. All of that is inside of workonyourgameuniversity.com. Work on your game. Dre, all